Hey, what's up guys, welcome to another tutorial of PHP and MySQL series, and in today's video we are going to learn about PHP for loop and PHP for each loop. So without any delay, let's start. First of all, I will create a new file here like for loop.php. You can create a file with any name, and inside this file I will type here an PHP opening tag. To understand the for loop, I will type here for keyword, and inside this, first of all, I will declare a variable like I is equal to 1 and then type here colon. Second, we have to type here a condition like I is less than or equal to 5 and then again press semicolon, and in the last we have to type here I plus plus, and here we have to type here the parentheses. Inside this, I will type the body loop like echo and find gap, and here I will type for br and press semicolon. At this position, we have to type nothing because we have completed our loop. First of all, let me refresh this. Here we have to type the for loop, which is our file name for loop.php, and you can see that the find gap is printed 5 times. Basically, the difference between the previous loops and this loop is we declare variable inside this for loop at this position. After this, you have to type your semicolon. In the second number, you have to type for condition, which is either if I would be less than or equal to 5, then this body of loop will be executed. Let me type here the body of for loop. And we know in the previous video in the while loop, we were incremented our variable inside the body of while loop, but in for loop we are incrementing our variable at this position. And in the previous video we know that we would declare our variable outside of the while loop, but inside this for loop we also did this action inside our this for loop. You can see that the find gap is printing. If I will type here if I is less than 6, then it will print one more time find gap. So basically this is the for loop. And one thing I want to teach you that here, just to teach you as an example, I just have printed a simple text find gap, but when you will write your web applications or CRMs or any programs in PHP, you will see you will type here a lot of line of code. So this is one of the most concept of programming. You will use it again and again. So make sure if you don't understand, you can watch the video again so you can clear this concept. The next thing we have is for each loop. First of all, here I will type for each loop. For example, suppose you have an array. I have declared a variable in which I will store an array, and I'm going to save some company names like Honda, Tesla and Yamaha. So I have typed here 3 company names, and as an array I stored them inside this variable. Suppose you want to display these variables on our screen. What you will do, you will simply type here for each and then this bracket your array name, which is ARR, or let me write this in detailed like car underscore companies. Let me copy this and paste them here, and then here you have to type here this sign equal to and this sign, and after this I will type here like C or company. So this is the separate variable. You can give any name to this variable, and in the parentheses in the body of our for each loop I will type here body of our for each loop. What you will do, you can type here echo like company and concatenate this is a car making company. The first letter company is a variable. First of all, let me show you the output. Here is an error. So basically at this position you don't have to type here this arrow sign, you have to type here as. This is the part of PHP syntax, and on the right side you can see that I have already refreshed my page. Let me open this on a big screen, and let me type here, let me open this in a big screen as well, and here I will type for a BR sign. And if I refresh, you can see that Honda is a car making company and Tesla is a car making company and Yamaha is a car making company. So basically we know that there were 3 elements in our array, and this loop will be executed 3 times. If you will store 5 elements in your array, this loop will be executed 5 times. The first time the first element Honda will be stored in our this company variable, and here we are printing that company mean Honda. First time, the Honda is a car making company. So in the output you can see that Honda is a car making company is printed. After this we have type a br tag for line break, and after this, in the second time when this loop will execute it, this company variable will store this Tesla value inside this, and you can see that Tesla is a car making company, this is printing, and so on. Suppose you have four elements inside this. I have going to type here just dummy string, and you can see that this loop now executing four times. When you will work on APIs, you will see that you receive arrays in the form of data. Suppose maybe you are working with JavaScript and PHP, and with JavaScript you will receive an object in the form of JSON, and you will need to display that data on the screen. That's where we use for each loop to print and to get and print all the data from our loops. When we will do practical, you will understand these things, but here is the simplest concept of our for each loop. One thing more is, if I type here id and then this sign, and then I can type here company. Let me refresh it. You can see that nothing happening, but maybe you will wonder that what does this variable means. Basically, first of all, let me comment this one, and to display an array you can use this method in PHP, a pre-opening tag and a print r method. Inside this type your array name, and at this position you can type here like pre and semicolon. If I refresh, you can see that the whole array is printing on our screen. Did you notice what is this? This is the index of our array. The index of the first element Honda will be 0, the index of the second element Tesla will be 1, and so on. So basically, if you want to get their values and their index as well, here we use this variable id. First of all, let me uncomment this one, and here I can print here. I can type here like $id. In PHP, if you type here double quotes in the left and in the right side, you can directly type variable inside this without concatenation. So let me refresh this one. You can see that 0, 1, 2 and 3 is printing on our screen. So this was the concept that how we can iterate data from an array, and what is actually for loop, and what is the difference between for and while loop. If you have any question, you can ask us in the comment section. We will try to answer your question, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel and share this video with those friends who want to learn web development. And finally, thanks for watching.